What's going on, guys? So check this thing out. This is a 2024 Toyota Tundra Crew Max. This has the iForce Max V6 twin turbo hybrid engine in it, and this is a Capstone package. When you're talking about a loaded up Tundra, this is as loaded up as they get. Hang tight, I'll be right back. So check this out. This twin turbo V6 hybrid produces 437 horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque, and is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. This is a four-wheel drive truck. This thing is super cool. You know, and one thing that's kind of confusing now, and it makes it harder for journalists to remember this stuff, is when you used to see trucks in the past, they'd be like 300 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. Now they have such odd numbers that you actually have to look at the paper to remember it. 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. I would have assumed there's a little leeway there just to round up a little bit to like 440 horsepower and 385 pound-feet of torque, just so the numbers are a little easier to remember. That said, this is a gorgeous truck. It is absolutely cool. I've already put about 100 miles on it, and I'm going to tell you that it is a very, very, very quick truck. There's absolutely no doubt that Toyota mastered this V6 twin turbo hybrid engine that's in here. This is the iForce Max, which is the only option you have for the Capstone package, which again is their premium package. This would be kind of like the GMC Denali Ultimate competitor, or the Ford King Ranch or Limited or Platinum competitor, or the Ram Laramie Longhorn or Limited offering. So yeah, this is definitely made to compete against the highest trim level of trucks from all the other manufacturers. Now, taking a look at the front, check this thing out. First and foremost, the headlights on this truck are absolutely insane. It's got 4 projectors. When the headlights are on, 3 of them are being used, and all 4 come on when you're in high beam mode, which is kind of cool how they've been able to kind of make everything sequential. The other cool thing about it is they're auto leveling. I mean, we've been asking for that feature forever on half-ton, 3/4 ton, 1-ton trucks, and Toyota finally introduced it on a Tundra where no other manufacturer has them. Ram has headlights that can turn like this, but who really needs that compared to headlights that can go up and down like this? Because once you load the bed full of weight, you put a trailer back there, you put an RV back there, and the back squats a little bit, these headlights would typically be blinding people. But because they're auto leveling, they're going to drop down so they're below the eyesight of oncoming traffic, which gives you a really, really great feature that the other truck manufacturers should really start incorporating into their trucks. You have your fog lights integrated into the front bumper, which looks really cool. The whole point of how they designed this was that interconnected feel, and I think that executes on it well. Still no tow hooks. In 2022, I reviewed a Capstone, and Tundra did not put tow hooks as an available option in Tundra. In 2024, still not an available option. I really wish that they had tow hooks as an option, and if they're worried about fuel economy, aerodynamics, just make them, you know, little panels that you remove to show them if you need them. You got your 22-inch aluminum wheels that look absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Bridgestone Dueler HT tires on them. Really, really nice stance to this truck. And this is a 4-wheel drive truck as well. You know, trucks nowadays, you really can't tell if they're 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive, but this truck is a 4-wheel drive truck, and I think the stance is beautiful. This does have rear air suspension, which also gives you the ability to raise or lower the suspension from inside of the truck, which is really cool. It does have power deploying running boards. Looking inside at the payload capacity, it's got 1,335 pounds worth of available payload capacity, which definitely is on the lower end of half-ton trucks, but the reason for that is because this thing is a super well-equipped truck. And if you compare this versus its rival, you're going to see the numbers are pretty much on par with most high-trim trucks, simply because if you want all of this, and you want the power-deploying running boards and all of the cool tech, it adds weight to the truck and it reduces your cargo capacity. Absolutely love the tow mirror. Yes, I do have it pushed out a little bit, but that is really, really nice. I love the main mirror and the convex mirror down here. Plus, you have some spotlighting on the side of it as well. These are power deploying mirrors, which means they will fold in or fold out, and they're power extending mirrors. So if you're going to be towing, this mirror assembly actually can extend out into a towing mode, which is also very nice. But they've done an outstanding job with the overall shape of the mirror, the size of the mirror, and what you're able to see with the spot mirror as well as the main mirror. So great job, Toyota, doing this. As far as the look from the side, I love the little humps right here. It gives it a nice powerful feel and look to it. And those are really just cosmetic. They're just made so you can see the iForce Max logo there on the side, plus the Capstone badging. The truck has a very, very clean overall look to it. It feels like a luxury truck. It looks like a luxury truck. It's absolutely something that I think most people would be proud to see in their driveway. Coming around to the back, one feature that I absolutely love about this truck is this button right here. On the side of the light, you have the ability to drop your tailgate. That is such a convenience feature whenever your hands are full, you're carrying stuff up to the truck and you want to load it up and you don't have the ability to reach your hand underneath the actual handle grip to lower the tailgate. Love that. I also love on this high trim Capstone where you get this super cool power deploying back corner step. Makes it super easy to hop in the bed of your truck. It's just really game changing, and it's awesome that they include it on this Capstone edition because, you know, Toyota really doesn't want to get into the tailgate wars, and this is a really cool way to avoid them from having to do that. Really great, easy access into the bed of your truck. Nice soft opening tailgate. Nothing super fancy about the tailgate other than the fact that it's your traditional tailgate. But that step makes it kind of a game-changing feature. Along with that feature right there, to be able to open your tailgate from the side, using that button right there, I think is absolutely a great feature, and I'm super glad that they thought of it. Inside of the bed, that is a composite bed, super nice. They've done a great job of giving you a composite bed, and I think in a way that most people would accept because it's super strong. It doesn't feel thin, it doesn't feel cheap, it doesn't feel hollow. It has a very, very rigid, nice, strong, tough feel to it. Now, one thing that some people may be on the fence about, and I certainly am, is the sidewalls of the actual bed, how they don't recess in like you see on a lot of trucks with steel or aluminum beds. This bed, you can see the sidewall is almost flush with the top rail of the truck. You have really nice tie downs up here. Everything looks really nice, but those sidewalls are just a little bit interesting to me. I kind of wish they would contour in a little bit to give you a little bit more room kind of tucked behind these little nooks, because I use that space in my truck. But how do you feel about that? Aside from that, composite bed, you know, I have no negative opinion on, because I think that they've probably come far enough now to make these beds so they're probably stronger than steel or aluminum. And quite frankly, this is a bed material that I think everyone's probably going to eventually be moving to, because it's lighter weight, super strong, and at the same time it's super durable. So there's really no negatives to this at this point. Again, you do have your rail system here, so you have a track system so you can secure things to the bed. Plus you have tie downs on all four corners, as well as slots for dividers, so you can divide up your bed using like 2x6s, as well as one right there. You can use it as kind of a seat. Plus you have a 400-watt AC outlet here on the bed as well. Very nice. Tailgate is nice and light. It doesn't feel heavy. It's definitely assisted. Your normal button to open the tailgate is right here. Then you have a light plus your camera. 2-inch receiver on the back of this truck. I believe this truck is going to have a 10,000 pound or around 10,000 pound maximum towing capacity. I don't have the exact numbers on this truck. Beautiful truck though. What do you guys think? I'd love to know your opinion. I think Toyota has done a really great job with the redesign. There are some elements that are kind of lacking. Like I do wish it had a steel bumper. I love this bumper in some ways because you have this step all the way across the top of it. You don't have to worry about just a small step there in the center like you do on most trucks. They don't have corner steps, but it's not a steel bumper, and I would like to see a steel bumper on this truck. That's really the only thing I think it's lacking. Not necessarily a front steel bumper, but at least a rear steel bumper. And then no tow hooks in the front, and I think those are really the only two elements I believe this truck is missing that I would like to see come back. A steel bumper in the back, tow hooks in the front. And this truck does have an interesting suspension setup because again, there are airbags on this truck. So when you get under here, you'll see that it has a multi-link suspension system. You can see the top valve right there for your airbag, and you can see the airbag right there. So this is a very different suspension system than what you might be used to on a Toyota truck or really most pickup trucks. So they've done a really interesting job here. Let's see if I can get you a shot underneath. And while we're down here, might as well point out the Toyota emblem on the actual exhaust pipe. Nice chrome tip right there. Now, something that would be kind of cool is if you could deploy this step without deploying the tailgate. I don't think there's a way to do it. I don't think there's a huge need to do it, but it would be nice if this step had a feature where you could tap it or you could do something just to have the step come down without the tailgate coming down. What are your thoughts there? But again, overall, they've done a great job executing on this new design. A few little elements that I think are missing that I think are needed, especially on a four-wheel drive truck. But I really do like this truck. I think it's definitely a great evolution from the previous generation of Toyota Tundra. So the frames followed suit with all the other manufacturers in terms of fully boxing it using high-strength steel. But overall, it's a beautiful truck. What do you guys think? Let's pop the hood real quick. All right, under the hood, you have your iForce Max twin-turbo hybrid V6 engine. it really fills out the hood too. It doesn't feel like you have this small power plant in here. And there's a lot of lineage from Lexus built into this engine platform. So when you think of reliability, I don't know if you all know the Lexus brand, but you know, it's arguably one of the most reliable brands out there, and they have just some of the most reliable platforms. And the fact that Toyota is the parent company to Lexus and use that lineage to help design this engine, I think is only a great thing. Very, very nice. Very clean under here. Anyways, guys, next video we will dive into the interior of this truck. There's so many things to go over. That's the reason why I'm going to break this up into 2 videos. But what do you think about the exterior styling? What do you think about my little quirks, like the lack of tow hooks and the lack of a steel bumper? I'd love to know your opinion. Aside from that, they've pretty much nailed it. They've done a really good job. I love how they have the black that kind of continues through the A-pillars up there. I think it looks really nice and clean. Guys, leave a comment below. I'd love to know what your feedback is on this thing. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.